Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a book that a lot of us probably think we know inside and out. I'm talking about Jonathan Swift's 1726 masterpiece, Gulliver's Travels. For centuries, this thing has been sold as this charming little adventure tale, right? You've got the giant among the tiny people, the tiny man among the giants. But is that really all there is to it? Just a simple story for kids? Oh, not even close. What we're actually looking at is one of the most blistering and, frankly, hilarious attacks on the entire human race ever written. Our guide through all this is a surgeon named Lemuel Gulliver. He's a very practical guy who set sail from England, and he has absolutely no idea what he's about to discover about his world and about us. Okay, let's jump right into his first trip. So Gulliver's ship goes down in a storm, he washes up on the island of Lilliput, and when he wakes up, he's a prisoner, tied down by a race of people who are only 6 inches tall. To them, he's this terrifying man-mountain. So, how do you get ahead in this tiny empire? Is it through merit? Hard work? Nope. It's about being the best entertainer. See, candidates for high office have to perform a really dangerous dance on a tightrope. Whoever leaps the highest without, a career-ending fall gets the job. It's an absolutely brilliant shot at political maneuvering. And Swift just keeps dialing up the absurdity because he's making a very specific point about his own time. The whole nation is split into 2 political parties, the Tremexan and Slamexan, and their big disagreement, it's about the height of the heels on their shoes. That was a direct jab at the Whig and Tory parties in Britain. And their endless, bloody war with the neighboring empire, well, that all started over which end of a boiled egg you're supposed to crack. Seems trivial, doesn't it? Well, that is exactly Swift's point. For the next voyage, the whole perspective gets completely flipped on its head. This time, Gulliver finds himself in Brobdingnag, a land of 60-foot giants. And now, he's the tiny curiosity, getting shown around by a farmer for cash. Eventually, he's taken in by the queen and gets to meet the king. Gulliver, just full of national pride, launches into this grand speech about all of Europe's glorious achievements, our politics, our laws, our history. He's totally convinced he is impressing the king with how sophisticated his world is. But the king, he isn't impressed. He's horrified. After he listens to Gulliver's whole speech, he basically concludes that human history is just a heap of conspiracies, rebellions, murders, massacres, revolutions, and banishments. From his giant perspective, our great society just looks petty, vicious, and completely irrational. You see, this change in scale works on 2 levels. Physically, the giants can see every single pore and flaw on human skin, and they find it pretty disgusting. But it's also on a moral level. They see our behavior up close, and our pride, our greed, and our violence, it all looks just as grotesque. Okay, Voyage 3 takes aim at a whole different target. Intellectuals who are so lost in abstract thought that they've become completely useless. Gulliver's journey brings him to the incredible flying island of Laputa. The thinkers on this island are so consumed by stuff like mathematics and music that they literally can't function in the real world. I mean, they're always in danger of walking into a wall or falling in a ditch. So to even communicate, they need servants called flappers to literally hit them on the mouth to remind them to talk and on the ear to remind them to listen. Down below Laputa is the Grand Academy of Legato, which was Swift's savage parody of the real Royal Society in London. He thought a lot of their experiments were just pointless, and you can see why here. Academics are busy with schemes like extracting sunbeams from cucumbers, all while the actual country around them is falling into ruin because they're ignoring any real practical problems. And now, we get to the final voyage. And I gotta tell you, this is where it gets really dark. It's the most famous, most powerful part of the book. It's where Swift delivers his final judgment on the entire human race. Gulliver lands in a country with 2 species. The rulers are the Huehuinums. They're talking horses who are governed completely by reason and truth. They're basically perfect. And their servants? They're called yahoos. Filthy, violent, greedy creatures that look disturbingly familiar. And this is the moment Gulliver's whole world just shatters. He's confronted with this horrible truth. These disgusting yahoos aren't just animals. They are humans, just stripped of all our civilized pretensions. He realizes he is a yahoo. Get this, the Huehuinums are so purely logical that they don't even have a word for lying. Gulliver has to explain it as saying the thing which was not. And the whole concept just baffles them. Why would the whole purpose of speech, to communicate truth, be used to do the exact opposite? It's just useless. So, when Gulliver tries to explain why humans go to war, or why we need lawyers, or why we hoard shiny little rocks we call money, the Houyhnhnms just can't comprehend it. There's no reason for any of it. To these rational beings, our entire human civilization is just a catalog of organized madness, all driven by vices they don't even possess. So, after seeing human pride miniaturized, our flaws magnified, and our intellect totally mocked, what's the final takeaway here? It all comes down to what happens to Gulliver himself. This journey completely breaks him. He starts as a proud patriot, but with each voyage, his faith in humanity is just stripped away. By the end, he identifies more with the rational horses than with his own kind. When he's finally forced to go back to England, he's disgusted by the sight and even the smell of other humans, including his own wife and kids. He ends up spending his days talking to the horses in his stable because they're the only company he can stand anymore. And so, Swift leaves every single one of us with this devastating question. Do we have that spark of reason in us, like the Houyhnhnms? Or are we, deep down, just a bunch of proud yahoos hiding our worst instincts under a thin little veneer of civilization? It's a question Gulliver's Travels has been forcing us all to confront for nearly 300 years.